To be honest, I think he must have been a very nice person if you liked him so much. Not only that, but you stopped yourself before going too far. Oh god, I thought glitched. Jesus. For a moment she looked somewhat lost. Most unexpectedly though, it isn't a second before she starts to laugh. Okay. The sound takes me off guard. It's not a giggle, nor a restrained chuckle, but honest and genuine laughter. I find myself smiling, and not just at her display of relief and happiness, but for her to trust me enough to let me see this most private of secrets. Blech. Before I realize it, I feel her palm touching my face. Her touch is gentle as ever, with her thumb slowly stroking my cheek. That's your nose! You're kind, Sal. I really do love you. Oh, God! Seeing her face like this, with her palm gently caressing my face, I think tonight has been a wonderful night. I guess we both had a pretty weird past, eh? I think by most standards, our present is rather odd as well. I smile and hang my head. This woman can easily run rings around me. Of that I'm quite sure. Ah! You submitted to it! You are whipped. I look back around the room with its continuing quiet hum of patrons. This place probably fits into the odd category too. It is a tad overbearing. That's one word for it, yes. I catch the eye of a scurrying waiter, a short, scrawny guy no older than 20. He kinda reminds me of Kenji, though unlike him, the waiter isn't dressed for winter during midsummer. Why do we care if there's a Kenji look-alike? That would scare the crap out of me. After a curt bow and an offer to remove our plates, Lilly asks for the bill politely and softly. Hisao, get your money. With expert coordination, he maneuvers around the tables, our plates in hand, to retrieve our bill. In no time, he reappears through the doors, smartly handing our bill to Lilly, who promptly hands it to me, causing me to raise an eyebrow. Good girl. She's making up for that 20,000 yen. Not in this arc. As I read the small computer-printed leaflet, the cost is considerably more than I expected. How much is it? Hisao? Oh, how much is... I quickly stammer out the amount, to which Lilly merely nods and reaches for her purse. Oh! Giving her card to the waiter, he disappears once again. You owe her double now. That was a disproportionately large amount of money. Wait, don't they have the money on the side? Or don't they do that in those fancy restaurants? You covetous bastards! The statement seems to make Lilly slightly uncomfortable. Wait, she didn't even see it. Oh god, you just conned her. My family leaves me more than enough for my education. The same goes for my sister, though she dislikes being reminded of that fact. That said, I too dislike throwing money about, but this one time I think I can make an exception, just for you. Not only did you choose our date, but you paid for both of us as well. I take the bridge of my nose in my fingers. I can't believe how high you have set the bar for our next date. She gives a small giggle. You cannot go higher than this. I'll be looking forward to it, Hisao. Oh god. The waiter reappears beside us, as if by magic, and hands Lilly's card back to her. Evidently picking up on her lack of sight, he places the card in her hand with an extra, perhaps unneeded amount of firmness to make sure of her grip. Leaving her Leaving, he exercises a measure of diplomacy by keeping a neutral face, despite my own expression. Clapping my hands together, I stand up from my seat in order to bring an end to our night out. Shall we be off then? Oh my god, milady. Oh fuck, milady. Do. Oh god, that was sloppy as hell. Who knew a date could be so open? Oh my god, is he having a heart attack? Yeah, I cannot do that. I snap upwards out of my sheets and sit bolt upright in bed, as if an electric shock had just run through my entire body. The night air feels cold against the sweat on my bare skin. My breathing short and rugged nearly to the point of hyperventilation. Mind racing, I bring my hand to my head in an attempt to soothe my body's panicked state. It takes me a number of seconds to realize my hand is shaking violently, even as I press it against my face. Did you have a nightmare? More seconds pass in complete silence, my desperate attempts to subdue my body and mind slowly, thankfully working. Gathering myself, I start taking measure of the state I'm in. It feels like I've run a marathon, every muscle feeling tensed and sweat practically pouring off me. I carefully direct my attention to the breathing in my chest, measuring out the rhythm in my head. Sure enough, my unreliable heart is functioning properly for once. What the hell happened? Just what the hell was that? Exactly! A heart attack? A bad nightmare? Medicine side effects? I heard about panic attacks, and this does seem to have the hand marks of one. Why would you have one? I can't even be bothered thinking about it right now. I feel utterly exhausted, yet completely awake after this experience. What happened? I look over to the other side of my bed. The pale white of the silent figures... Wait, what? I look over to the other side of my bed. The pale white of the silent figure's face almost glowing in the night-time darkness of the room. Just the sight of her is enough to calm me down significantly. Oh, right. Her graceful demeanour persists even while she's asleep. Her perfectly measured breathing and gentle face making it impossible to tell whether she's awake or truly sleeping. Thank God she's a heavy sleeper. Well, I hope she is. Giving into temptation, I delicately run my fingertips over her hand. Her skin is soft to the touch, as it always has been, yet warm even in the cold night. It's at times like this, silently appreciating each other's presence, that I feel we're closest. My fingers stop at her waist, and I bring my hand back down to the bedside, the bed beside me. Thank God, good man. I'm not entirely sure why, but as we became ever so close to each other, it felt as if something grew between us. I'm not entirely sure what it is, nor whether it existed before we'd fallen in love. Oh, for goodness! Everything is moving so fast. I don't mind it at all, but it feels unlike Lilly to be pushing things this much. Thankfully, there... Oh my God, she came here? Oh dear God, be careful of Kenji. Thankfully, there aren't any students milling around the hallways at this hour of the morning, lest I'd be interrogated on why I'm carrying 2 plates of breakfast to my room while dressed in an obvious, hastily donned uniform. That isn't to say things like this never happen, of course. A single security guard patrolling between 2 sets of bedrooms situated right next to each other is a very small force compared to adolescent hormones. Come to think of it, the fact that it's Monday morning probably helps. I'm not really sure why, but Mondays seem to bother me less than they do most others. It takes a little creative use of my hands and elbow, but eventually I managed to work the door to my dormitory room open. Butchered! Stepping inside, I see Lilly just getting up from the bed and tiredly rubbing her eyes. She looks a mess, just like most other times I've seen her soon after she wakes. She really isn't a morning person. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. She groggily shakes her head. The morning light illuminating her makes for a very pleasant sight. It's okay. I needed to get up anyway. What time is it? I put my plate down on my desk and turn the clock around to check the time. It's still early. Don't worry, there's plenty of time left before school. Let's assume it's 6 to Zexian. She sits on the side of the bed and begins to sniff the air. As she does so, I quickly move her plate away and put it on the desk beside me. Mine! Yes, I got us some breakfast. Shower and clothes come first, though. Oh? Okay. She stands still for a moment with her chin pointed slightly out. I gladly acquiesce and press my lips to hers, savouring the soft feeling before breaking off. With a small, sweet smile, apparently quite satisfied, she slowly makes her way to the showers. I stretch to try and wake myself up a little more, briefly looking at the steaming dishes on the desk. Rice, fish, miso soup, and some vegetables. A standard breakfast for a somewhat unusual day. Mine is cereal and toast. And a cup of tea. I grab the bottles from my desk and start taking the daily regime of pills. Sometimes I wonder what these things are even good for, given all the troubles I've had since the initial accident. I can't even say that it doesn't hurt to take them, considering the side effects so far. Well, whatever. Doctor's orders are that I have to take them, and rationality suggests that I'd be, well, severed to trust his judgment over mine. It doesn't take long for the noise of the shower to cease. A quick one, apparently being fine for Lilly given the circumstances. Do you have a shower in your dorm room? You lucky. Wait, what? If that... Oh, God. Emerging from the bathroom, she looks significantly more awake, having the chance to collect herself. And it's like her hair hasn't been washed at all. It's like magic. It's in the same place. Without a word, I gently take her hand in mine and guide her to my desk. Considering I don't have a table in my room, as she does, it'll have to do. Thank you, Sal. What did you prepare for breakfast? Just rice and some vegetables, something fast. Her face lights up at the revelation. That's quite a breakfast. This is normal for you? Now she's just being nice. I have little doubt, considering her past, that this isn't exactly a high-class meal by her standards. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Just because we're students doesn't mean we can take it lightly. That's my belief anyway. From what others I've talked to have said, I might be in the minority. I take a seat on the side of my bed and begin eating together with Lilly, her chopsticks slightly tapping out the outlines of the vegetables, just as I noticed her do during our date. This is quite nice, Estelle. I'd have no idea you could cook this well. This time she's much more genuine. I can tell that much. That said, cooking really isn't anything special at all. After a bit of practice, it's pretty easy to make a simple dish. Most of the credit goes to modern technology. Still, after years of cooking for myself, I should hope so. I got bored of eating instant noodles and ordering pizza every time my parents were both working, so I taught myself how to make a few meals. I'm still trying to get the knack of it though. Same with my earpiece, man!